Hi guys, and I hope that you all had an amazing last week, and welcome to your tarot outlook for the week of March 9th to March 15th. I am Natalia, the creator of Light Witch Tarot, and today we are using a deck that I recently got that I cannot have enough of. So that is the Akamara Tarot. And then towards the end, we are going to be pulling out a card from the Goddess Dream Oracle as the card of the week, right? So when we take a look at the energy of March 9th to March 15th, we have two main events happening, which is Mercury going direct, as well as the Virgo full moon. And we all know that Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so this is going to happen Monday, March 9th. Now, with this full moon, it will be fully illuminated by the Pisces sun. So when we have this Virgo Pisces combo, we have to be very careful on Monday because unexpected problems can arise, right? So the best thing to do on Monday is kind of go within, take a look at how you're feeling, and just focus on what has to be done, and then try to just avoid anybody that wants to start an argument, anybody who is just being arrogant. Just kind of stay on your own lane, right? So what we're seeing here is this amazing energy, right? It could be a little bit bumpy, but hey, we're here to survive everything, so we're good, right? So we are happy to announce that in the Witchery, we're going to be making a fire outside on Monday, and we're going to be bringing those ritual candles that we usually make in the woods. We're making 6 of them, and they will be posted in the shop this weekend. And as you know, this weekend we're also having a Venus sale, so it is using code Venus and saving 25% off your entire purchase. So basically, let's go ahead and get started. When we are doing hair talk, I know you guys always like this little snippet. Basically, there's nothing to say here. This week I did not buzz it, so this is literally the longest I've had my hair since I buzzed it back in January. I know a lot of you have told me, can you please buzz it and leave your natural grays, because a lot of you want to see what's happening there. And it's almost like you could kind of see it a little bit. Here's some of the natural gray, here's some too, and it's all the parts that you don't see those dark roots coming in. Now yesterday I did something a little bit different. I used a mask by Matrix, and I believe it's called the Soul Silver Platinum mask, and what I did is I put it on dry hair. I left it for 5 minutes, and it literally made my hair look extremely silver. Of course, you could also see those roots coming in. I bleached it last Sunday. By Tuesday or Wednesday, the roots are there, and you know, it's an upkeep, but those of you that have asked me when am I gonna let my hair grow again, I have no idea. Not anytime soon. I do want to keep this for the summer, so maybe if I do let it grow, it will probably start next fall, but we'll see. You guys know I change my mind every 5 minutes, so as a true Gemini, we will see, right? So let's go ahead and get started. Now, I did pick some crystals for this week, for this week's reading. So obviously, you never see me do a reading without a clear quartz. We have our beautiful clear quartz to enhance any of the messages that come through. We also have this beautiful Lemurian, and we're going to be posting a lot of crystals this coming week, as we have so many from Tucson. And this Lemurian I love because it almost has a shamanic feel to it. And then of course we have my favorite piece of amethyst, that it has some inclusions of some sort there, and this is for grounding, and the Lemurian is just to really access that energy that we need to take a look at this coming week. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower the camera, and the same thing that you see me doing here is exactly what happens when you schedule a reading. Now, for those of you asking, I am so happy to announce that I am totally booked until about the second week of July. And I thank everybody. I usually schedule 10 readings per day. So when I say I'm booked, I mean that I'm booked. There's no days off there in between. But right now you could actually save 25% on your reading. This is usually how it goes. We kind of talk in camera, and then I record everything. So you could see your cards getting shuffled, you could see their placements. So, you know, basically my feedback for the last 20 something years, everybody just loves that part, that we can work with each other at our own time. that we don't really need to set a scheduled date. The reason why I like to record my readings is because a lot of times people forget and they would call. And because I do intuitive readings, so meaning I don't use your birthday, I don't gather information from you. My readings I do at the moment, I will not remember them 5 minutes later. So doing it like this, you have the chance to watch it as many times as you like, as well as just, working with it, taking your notes, and just having it there for your collection. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that we see is we're seeing the Cane card, and this is the 9 of Cane. So what we're seeing here is the element of fire, and it goes very well with that energy from the Virgo Pisces full moon. And what we're seeing is just being very cautious. We start off the week with the energy of wanting to be more cautious, almost feeling like thinking before you act, right? And you may be tested, because we saw that in the Astro. So it's just staying determined, staying on your lane. Do not give your power to anybody, and just kind of go with the flow is what we're seeing. But this is a day that you definitely want to keep your energy in check, because Pisces is still there. So we just have to make sure that we don't lose moderation, that we don't go and act out on emotion and then, regret it later. Now, the next one that we're seeing is the card of Olaya. Now, when Olaya comes through, this is your strength card. So this is all about working with your personal power, having presence, being noticed, right? It's all about your vitality and your perseverance. So this is going to be a week where you want to stay patient with yourself. You want to stay determined. And if the self-doubt creeps in, work with some affirmations and kind of remind yourself and remind your energy, of what you're capable of doing. A lot of times we forget. A lot of times we put ourselves down. A lot of times we are just doubting ourselves to the point that it's really not fair for us, right? Now, the next one that we see is the 8 of Canes. Now, when the 8 of Canes shows up, this has to do a lot with communicating. Now, with Mercury going direct around Monday, you'll see that communications will get a lot more easier. So we do see that swift energy, right? And what we see here, it's very important for next week for you to speak your mind, for you not to keep anything within you. As anytime that we do that, we're creating then blockages for us, because we should be expressing what we're feeling, but instead of doing that, we're keeping it within, and that does create blockages. That does create a heaviness that it's not fair for us to carry, right? Now, the next one that we're seeing is the 6 of Kabalash. Now, what we see here is that those apologies that maybe you held on during retrograde, maybe it's time to go back. Maybe this is a good time for you, if you're working with healing, to work with letting go, apologizing to yourself, and anything that needs to be spoken of. This is going to be a good week to do that. You may find yourself seeking past connections. You may find yourself almost feeling nostalgic. Just make sure that that energy is not because you're bored. Make sure that if you plan to apologize to someone or to accept an apology, make sure it's not going to be from someone that you know that it's not good for you. Make sure it's not from someone that you already cut ties with, because then you fall back in that cycle. Now, the next one that we're seeing is the 10 of Canes. So when the 10 of Canes shows up, basically what we see is letting go of anything that is a burden for you at this moment, right? Now, you definitely want to look at your responsibilities and see what unreasonable obligations you've been working with, anything that's causing you pressure. This may mean that you just have a lot of things going on, and this is a good time to set priorities. This is a good time to ask yourself, is this all really worth it? Can something wait? Do I really have to be doing all of this? Especially if your energy is saying, I need a break. When our energy speaks, it will speak in anxiety, it will speak in depression, it will speak in feeling exhausted. So if you're feeling that, it's because your energy is saying, I need to rest, I need a break. So make sure next week you're not putting so much on your to-do list, because you kind of just have to take a break, take a moment, right? Now, the last one that we're seeing is the 10 of Cutlass. Now, the 10 of Cutlass, may have you feeling a little bit powerless next week, but you will start seeing how obstacles will begin to be removed, right? So there might be some ending that took place or some betrayal that took place, right? And then you may have had a period that you felt broken, but with this, we see the aftermath, right? So the aftermath of going through something like that is we feel powerless, but at the same time, we start seeing those obstacles beginning to be removed. So this is actually a beautiful card because what it's saying is that negativity will begin to be lifted. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to pull out our last card, and this one is from the Goddess Dream Oracle, and I love this deck because it's quite very positive. And what we're looking at now is the energy of the week. I love this card. I love how beautiful it is. You guys, look at this. So what we have for the week is the Life Purpose card. So when we see this card, is a time to manifest your dreams. It's time to begin to plant your seeds. It's time to starting to feel hopeful for the future. So those blockages are now being lifted. You're going to start feeling much more positive. So it's time to really take a look at your next move. Where do you want to go next? What do you want to do? What do you want to work on manifesting? So as you can see, next week we're still feeling the emotions of Pisces in there, but it almost taught us a way to go through it, right? So as you see, we have a better week coming up, right? And I do hope that everybody who is watching has a great week. We will. You will make it through this because that is just what we do. This is what I always say. It's just what we do. So if you have any questions, you can email me. You can DM me through the Facebook page or Instagram. And like I said, schedule your reading. My next day, I think it's almost in July 10th. And I know waiting, nobody likes to wait, but trust me, every single one of my clients will tell you it is worth it, right? So I will see you again next weekend. Lots of love and light to you all, and blessed be. Bye-bye.